this video, I want to talk about something called a Bitterroot expectancy. And so what is this and how might it be affecting your manifestations in terms of what you want to see in your external reality, career, life goals, love relationships, all of these different things. Now, specifically, the conversation I was having with one of my very good friends, female friends, was talking about manifesting that perfect relationship into her life. And she had this, or she has this expectancy that all men are a certain way and that there's, only bad guys out there and everybody's going to cheat and everybody's going to lie, and that's just the way of the world now. And so what I continue to explain to her is that this is this Bitterroot expectancy that has basically taken a hold of her consciousness, and because those are the thoughts that she's directing outward towards the quantum field, that's really the reflection of toxic masculine energy that is becoming or is essentially magnetized towards her. It's just reaffirming that belief in her external reality that she has. So time and time again, these kind of unfortunate characters end up materializing essentially into her external reality. And so now whether you are masculine or feminine, and no matter what you are trying to create in terms of a particular journey in life, it's important to really focus on, again, your mental thought forms, because what you are imagining and what your belief centers are, or the focal point of your beliefs are creating, is really what is going to be drawn into your external reality. So one of the things that I do that I find extremely helpful is really having a plan, having a vision, and knowing what it is you want to create and what you really want to experience in this lifetime. So again, if it's a certain career or a certain energy in terms of your career, maybe you want to be working from a remote location, maybe you want to be, really immersed in politics, or whatever it is that your true, dream is, being very diligent about writing it down and writing down the particulars about it. Like, what is the experience going to feel like? How would your days look? Whatever details that essentially you want the universe or the quantum field to produce for you. Another way of looking at this is simply the energy of prayer, of creating that prayer to the universe. You're being a little bit more diligent when you're putting it into written form than just speaking those thought forms of a prayer, in your internal reality in your head. But everything works. What I find, though, in terms of the writing, is it's really concrete, and you can go back and really read it over in terms of the dreams that you're trying to create. And it's enforcing within yourself that you're also going to look for these certain things. Your mind is now paying attention to all of the little aspects of that dream. And again, you're going to be drawn to those factors and pull them towards yourself more acutely if you have been diligent in creating that vision for yourself. Now, our particular conversation was about her possibly finding this dream guy. And in terms of her expectancy, she was sending a very clear message to the universe that this particular type of man, this dream fairy tale guy, just simply didn't exist anymore, or wasn't available to her in the modern era. Because essentially, from her perspective, guys, all modern men just want to play around. They're not interested in long-term relationships, and if they are, they have baggage, and there's problems attached to those kind of guys anyways. They're too clingy, needy, all of these different things. But what I noticed about her dialogue was she was coming up with all of these reasons why this man was never going to materialize for her. Therefore, that's the frequency she was So that frequency that she was sending out to the universe is that this wasn't even a possibility for her. She's also going to be taking on that energy. So when she is out and, amongst peer groups, she's going to be holding that Bitterroot expectancy and giving off that energy of not believing in a divine masculine possibility. Okay, so what I suggested that she would do to kind of create a shift in her energy field was to write down, to basically wipe the slate clean of anything that she has previously experienced, and really sit down and ask if she could have the perfect guy. Again, totally separate from anything she's ever experienced. What would that perfect man look like? What would the way he presented himself, what would he wear? How would he speak? What type of language would he use with her? What type of job would he have? In terms of his financial abundance, in terms of, what his family life or the extended family was like. What would the experiences that they would have together look like? What would their love life look like? Be as detailed as possible in what she was looking for in her perfect man. And again, she kind of looked at me like I was a little bit crazy, but she actually said, I'm buying into this. This sounds really, really good. And, maybe I'll give it a try. And the point I was making is that when she would do this exercise, or as she's doing this exercise, what she's actually doing is taking inventory of her needs that need to be met, and that she could also utilize the beautiful examples of other masculine energies that she has interacted with previously in her lifetime to look at maybe some of the things that didn't match up to her standards, and therefore she could really hone in on what she was looking for. She could also use those examples in terms of those masculines, the things that they provided to her in those previous relationships that really worked for her, that really meshed in terms of her own energy. So it's just, again, creating that vision, creating that roadmap of what you want to experience. And then the kind of last aspect to this is returning to this visionary list, or this request, the order you're putting into the universe, and rereading it and editing it as you go along as well. Because again, there's going to be things that in each and every day you are learning about your own nature, and you might have to make adjustments to this list. Magnetize all of those requests into your atmosphere, into your life, so that you can experience those requests so that you can experience this new up-leveled version of reality. But remember, you have to believe in it. You have to expect it, and you can't reside in this energy of thinking that the world is out to get you. When that is what your core belief is, that is all your mind is going to acclimate to. That is what you are going to be looking for. That is what you are going to be seeking out in each and every interaction, and you're going to layer that type of expectancy on the way that you perceive others. And a lot of times our perceptions, because they are assumptions that we are making without all the facts, are quite incorrect, but we send that energy out to those other individuals in terms of our own energetic balance and our own energetic, way of being, that other individual almost morphs into what we expect them to be. So it's not that we don't have boundaries. It's not that we don't have vigilance in terms of who we interact with. The message still is that you guard the sacredness of your energy. You don't give it away too freely. But in terms of this neutral energy, in terms of not being expectant of terrible things happening for you, you actually balance the nature of your own ability to manifest good things by letting go of the past, letting go of this attitude that nothing good ever happens for me or there is no possibility. So just to summarize, in terms of creating that life you've always dreamed about, it's really truly, sorry, Bruno's up here with me in the ending part of this video, he just went for his walk. It's truly about having that attitude that good things are coming for you. I'm gonna wrap this one up and I'll see you guys in the next video.